Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to create the stationary wave. Okay, so we have derived the equations of the stationary wave, and now so let's see the simulations to see how you can create the stationary wave. Okay, so first, so look at this device. Okay, so here, what happened? So here is the fixed end. Okay, so the wave can't pass through this end, and let's see what will happen. Okay. So I'm moving up. 你見到啲咩？好啦，我而家 create 咗呢個 pulse 啦。咁咧喺呢個 fixed end 度咧，你見到呢個 pulse 係會點㗎？當佢 reflect 翻嚟嘅時候，俾咗次機會你。我按呢個啦，呢個人哋咧 create 得好啲嘅。Okay, so I create a pulse. Okay, so the amplitude becomes smaller and smaller, right? So because in our daily life there is energy loss, so we can decrease this damping to lower the energy loss. Okay, so if the damping is none, that means there is no energy loss. Okay, so now we change the case into the ideal case, which is no energy loss. So now we create the pulse. Okay, so it keeps going, but can you see anything special when it reflects? Okay, so if the wave reach the fixed end, the amplitudes will, not the amplitudes, okay, so the waves will become upside down, or we can see the phase change 180 degrees. 咁咧簡單啲講咧就係一個向上嘅 wave 咧 reflect 完會變向下，向下嘅會 reflect 完變向上嘅。So this is the special case for the fixed end. So I actually need to mark it out. 抄低佢先啦。陣間咧會俾你睇另一種情況嘅 ，OK？ So this is the case of fixed end. So for the fixed end, the weight will become upside down. Okay, so in physics we call this the phase change is 180 degrees. Or 呢個好簡單，你就寫 fixed end 跟住個 weight upside down 咁就得啦，或者it's changed in 180 degrees. damping 你可以當係有 friction 嘅。之後咧，我哋 Unit 5咧學 resonance 嘅時候咧，會即係仔細咁講呢件事。好啦，咁咧嗱，而家要望住啊，真係望住呢度，望住呢度。Okay, so if I change the fixed end into the loose end, so let's see what will happen. Okay. Wait. So what happens in this case? Okay, so the phase angle doesn't change when the wave meet the loose end. Okay? 呢個圖同啱啱個圖有分別啦。係啦，你見唔見到咧？喺呢度咧，佢會由上變咗下。當佢嚟到呢個 point 會由下變咗上，或者上變咗下。OK， 但係喺呢個 point 嘅時候咧，唔會嘅。佢喺上面嚟咧，咁就會上面翻去，下面嚟就會下面翻去。OK。So this is the case for loose end, or you can imagine that is the open end. So this characteristic is what you need to know, especially for those who retake the UMath public exam. 澳大嗰啲好中意問呢啲咁嘅嘢嘅。好啦，咁咧如果 no end 會點啊？如果 no end 會點啊？個 wave 就走咗。咁no end，佢行咗出去個窗度嘛。Okay, so now we will create a stationary wave. So which ends we should choose in order to create the stationary wave? So we should choose the fixed or loose. Fixed end, okay? So if we choose the fixed end, and then to, oh my god.
有兩部電話你實
嚇？
有兩部電話。
咩兩個電話？哦，呢、個係啊 U J， 佢尋日留低個電話，有冇人見到我個話是邊個啫？啊！我要崩潰啦！哎，呢度 ，OK， so I choose this oscillate。OK， 嗱太快啦係咪？咁咧我改一改嘅 tension 先 ，and then I press the restart。So you see the wave is now moving to the fixed end. It's a traveling wave, right? So when it reaches the fixed end, then there is the reflected wave. So when these two waves combine with each other, then it becomes the stationary wave. Okay? So, and the amplitude becomes larger and larger. Why? Because there is no energy loss, right? And you keep providing the energy in this case. So since there is no energy loss and you keep providing the energy, okay? So if you want to, but I can't stop it. Okay, so I can increase the energy loss. Okay, so to decrease the amplitude. 都唔會嘅，即係如果個 energy loss 同你 provide energy 一樣，咁就會 keep the constant. But it is quite difficult to adjust this. Okay? But of course in IEL, both of them will be the ideal case. Okay? 咁咧，如果你唔 keep provide energy 咧，咁嘅 amplitude 係唔會改變嘅。但係因為而家有嚿嘢 keep provide energy. So we can create our own standing wave. Okay? 咁咧，我哋可以自己整一個 standing wave 出嚟嘅。So first, okay, so the wave is moving to the right-hand side. So when it is reflected, okay, then it too becomes the standing wave. Okay, so it's similar. 咁因為我自己 pick 㗎嘛 ，it's not very regular. Okay, but at least you see how the standing wave is formed. Okay, so first you create a wave, move to the specific directions. So after it reach fixed point, the wave reflected. Okay, so in opposite direction. So when they superpose with each other, then it creates the standing wave. Okay. So sometimes you may ask to explain how to form a standing wave or the stationary wave. So this is okay. So this is the principle behind to create the standing wave. Okay. So and then now, so when you go back to the instruments, so when you place the instrument, okay, so apply force to the string, then the wave will be reflected from these two ends. So both of them are the fixed end. So they will create the stationary waves. Okay, so no matter the piano, violin, or guitar, they are all stationary waves. Okay. 唔係，其實咧佢有轉方向，只不過係兩個 wave combine 然之後係咁樣啦。嗱，我開個 PowerPoint 俾你咧就明㗎啦。咁咧首先我要開個 PowerPoint 先，係咪？點解會轉180度？呢件即係最一開始嗰個，即係轉去最右點解會轉180度？最左。佢右邊係唔方向。咁咧，我哋講完之後咧，如果你都仲係唔明咧，咁我哋就再講下。OK， 好。So now there are two waves, and then so the green ones represent the original waves, and then the blue one is the reflected wave. So when these two waves combine with each other, then it becomes the red wave. Okay. So can you imagine how the red wave is created？ 咁咧，你睇下呢一點啦，呢一點咧紅色嗰個咧係咪就係等於咧呢兩個 displacement 加埋一齊啊？係啦，咁咧所以咧，當一個 wave 向右一個 wave 向左嘅時候咧，佢疊加完之後咧，就永遠就會變咗做一個 stationary wave。譬如你睇下呢個方啫，呢個方啫 個綠色 wave 同個藍色 wave 咧，永遠都係 opposite displacement. Okay, so but it's same magnitude. So that's why this point will be a not or anti-north. This one. Is this a north or anti-north? North. Okay. So this becomes a north. So if these two waves are identical, then sure we get a perfect standing wave. Okay. So this is how to create a standing wave. And
但係想冇地方。你啱啱我哋睇埋佢，我已經翻嚟。
而家都睇唔到嗰個 N。
你啱啱睇到嗰陣時咧，就已經係兩個 wave 疊加埋咗一齊啦，你諗下。即係你淨係睇到嗰一串豬仔喺度喐啫嘛。即係你嗰個你睇到嘅嗰條咧，就已經係紅色嘅條嚟㗎咯。所以你分唔到係點樣整出嚟嘅。唔係，你個綠色去嘅時候咧，就會導致個 direction， 所以就 create 咗個藍色嘅出嚟咯。即係呢個藍色嘅點嚟嘅，其實就係呢個綠色咧 reflected at this angle 嘅。但係咧嗱，點解呢個好似冇轉 directions 咁咧？因為呢個 vibration 咧，見唔到呢兩邊係咩 end 嚟啊？呢兩邊係咪 fixed end 嚟啊？呢個圖咧，同啱啱個圖唔係好一樣嘅，因為呢個圖咧最右同最左咧係 open end 嚟嘅，咁所以呢個圖係咁嘅樣。咁但係咧，其實就係佢想話俾你聽咩咧？佢想話俾你聽就係呢個 standing waves 其實係點嚟？只要有一個向右同一個向左，佢一模一樣嘅時候咧，兩個 waves， 咁佢就會 create 呢個 standing waves。咁咧，呢個向右同向左一般係點樣嚟咧？就係你 create 一個 waves， 佢 collide with the fixed points， 跟住佢就會 reflect。咁所以呢兩個 waves 咧就會係 identical。But travels in opposite directions。你冇諗佢反唔反轉住先？你諗下，而家呢兩個 wave， 一個向左行，一個向右行，你想唔想像到佢係一個 stationary wave 啊？係啊，咁咧就係只要咧你 create 到兩個 wave， 一個向左一個向右咧，就會出現呢個 stationary wave。OK， 咁咧呢個可能係即係可以喺吉他度發生啦，或者可以喺呢個單簧管、雙簧管度發生。咁咧呢啲就係、譬如咧雙簧管嘅時候咧，兩邊就係 open end 雙，就可能係呢個樣。如果係吉他嘅話咧，就係啱啱嗰個樣。Okay. 好。And so for the particles inside the tubes, there may be another case. 咁咧呢個 case 咧就係我哋尋日咧未計嘅 case 嚟。呢個 case 係咩 case 啊？你睇一睇，呢個同兩個都係 fixed end 一唔一樣啊？同兩個都係 open end 一唔一樣啊？唔一樣點解啊 ？So one of this end is a fixed end, so the other end is an open end. Okay? So this is another case compared to what we learned yesterday. Okay, so for this closed tube, so one end is the closed end, so it will have the particles will have zero displacement. Okay, so because it's not free to move. So for the particles at this open end, so the amplitude is maximum. Okay, so that the tubes will have the pattern like this. So today we will derive the equations for this kind of vibration. And so let's go through the PowerPoint first. 因為咧之後我哋就要刪咗佢，我哋呢個電腦實在太難用啦個 PowerPoint。咁咧呢個就係個 definitions 呢嚿嘢會 send 俾大家。咁stationary waves are produced by superpositions of two progressive waves of equal amplitudes and frequency traveling at the same speed but in opposite directions. Okay, so like what we see on this diagram. Okay. For during the experiment, we can use the vibrator and the stand to create a standing wave. So like the setup I showed you yesterday.
細成班每個人用。
Okay, so and for the vibrations, so here are the knots and here are the anti-knots. 好啦，咁咧我哋繼續 skip 晒佢啦。咁呢個 particle motion 咧，我估你咧自己識畫嘅。如果你方科學得好嘅話，你方科學得好唔好啊？咁呢個 equation 啫，尋日就係教咗你 derive 啦。呢個咧就係 two close in 嘅時候嘅 equation 啫。咁咧千祈唔好去背，嬲啦人哋，嬲啦，要唱歌俾你聽。咁咧呢堆 equations 咧，千祈唔好去背，即係呢個背咗真係死人嘅，實會撈亂嘅。OK， 所以咧you need to make sure you know how to derive the equations。OK， 或者你記咧，即你都用個簡單啲方法記啦，即係呢個 one half， 呢個 two over two、three over two， 跟住就 four over two、five over two。OK。So then these equations are same to the openings. 咁咧呢度有另一個 experiment to investigate the wavelengths of the sound waves. So we will do this experiment. Okay, so we will skip it now. But this experiment is quite difficult to get the precise result. So you need to bring your phones for this experiment.
大電話。
好啦，咁咧。咁咧就呢個 vibrations in air columns. Okay, so we can create a standing wave on the string or create a standing wave inside the tube. Okay, so for with the vibrations of air. 咁咧呢個咧我哋叫做 open tube。咁呢個 open tube 咧就同咧兩個 close in 嘅 strings 係一樣嘅，所有 equations 係咪叫 drive 個？咁呢個記住咧，如果你見到題目講 close tube 咧。咁就 one close end one open end 啫，唔係兩個都 close end 嚟嘅。如果兩個都 close end， 你點吹咧？係咪？你諗下。咁所以咧 ，so wherever you see the close tube, so actually, so one of them is the close tube, closed end, and another is the open end. So the most common examples for the closed end instrument is 乜鬼啊？有冇敲過啲玻璃杯啊？即係加水之後敲啲玻璃杯 ，you can create different frequency, right？ 咁咧，你而家可唔可以講俾我聽點解越多水咧 frequency 越高啊？點解越多水 frequency 越高？因為個 link 咧越細啊，越多水嘅時候，係咪？你諗下隻杯啲水越滿咧，呢個 link 係咪越細啊？呢度？咁咧，你尋日見到條色咧 link 咧喺呢個分母度嘅，分子係啦，分母度，所以the lower the length, the higher the frequency。咁咧就係點解咧？你可以用啲水杯裝唔同嘅水咧，就可以 create different frequency。OK， 好啦，咁咧尋日咧查咗一大堆咧嗰啲咁嘅 close tube 咧同 open tube 嘅樂器咧發出嚟嘅聲音咧有冇分別？咁咧由於我理唔係幾好，同埋我實在太懶啦，唔係好想睇。不過最簡單咧就係咁樣啦。咁咧一般嚟講咧，咁好難界定嘅，即係佢話咧，如果係12音程嘅樂器咧，咁就係 close tube instrument； 有8音程嘅就係 open tube instrument。咁咧陣間就會同大家講下咧點樣計出嚟啊！咁咧你哋 music 應該好過我啦，你哋應該自己明啊。如果唔明咧，就問下 reset。Okay, so for the open tube, the equations are all the same. Okay, so we'll skip this part, and we are going to derive this equation, but just summarize here, and I'll send you the PowerPoint. And the last one is the equations of the wave speed on the string. So you have to copy this equation, okay? So this equation tells you why when you increase the tension, the frequency of the string instrument is increased. So this V is the wave speed. So the wave speed equals to the tension along the string over the linear mass density. So what is linear mass density? is mass over length. Okay? So we define a new term here. Okay, so the velocity of weight along the string equals to force. This force is the tension over mu. This mu is the linear density, linear mass density. Okay, so it's equals to F over m per L. So, as you can see, you can increase the velocity with a higher F, right? So you can increase the velocity with a higher F, or you can increase the velocity with a lower mass over length.咁咧呢個 mass over length 咧，其實咧個 length 係唔重要，個 mass 比較重要。點解咧？你諗下，對於一個樂器嚟講咧，佢其實係咪每一條弦都一樣長？所以其實咧呢個 L 咧係一模一樣嘅。譬如對於呢個吉他6條弦，咁咧條弦咧邊個重啲咧？其實佢個 velocity 就會低啲。邊條弦輕啲咧，個 velocity 就會高啲，因為佢條弦嘅長係一樣。And now how we can link the velocity with the frequency? How we can link the velocity with the frequency? Yes, v equals to f lambda. Okay? So since v equals to f lambda, so f equals to v over lambda. Okay? So in this case, it's easier to see that if the velocity increase, frequency increase. Yes, frequency. 點解唔可以係 wavelength increase 啊？點解我 velocity increase？點解 wavelength 唔可以 increase？因為你睇下呢條弦，呢條弦係咪就咁長啊？即係如果佢係咁樣震嘅話咧，個 wavelength 就已經係固定咗啦。係咪？即係譬如呢度係 L 嘅話咧，你嘅吉他嘅弦係 L 咁長，咁呢個 lambda 咧就係 2L 啫。咁所以咧呢個 wavelength 咧其實係 constant 嚟嘅呢個情況之下。OK， 咁咧如果你突然個 velocity increase 咧 frequency 咧就會 increase 嘅啫。嗱，呢個好似同我尋日講嘅係咪唔一樣啊？我尋日咪話咧 V 等於 F lambda， 如果呢個 materials 唔變嘅話咧。F increase 咧 lambda 就會 decrease 啦，係咪？尋日我講過呢句嘢，我話 materials 唔變嘅時候咧 ，if frequency increase lambda decrease。咁今日咧我又話咯喎，而家 velocity increase 咧 frequency increase， 但 lambda 冇改變。呢兩個 case 咧有冇矛盾啊？因為下面係乜嘢？下面係 materials 唔改變啊嘛，係咪？咁咧，你上面咧，你吉他唔同弦咧，其實 materials 咧已經算係改變咗啦。同埋咧，你 increase 咗 tension 之後咧，個 materials 都可以算係改變咗啦。OK。下面咧係講你喺同一個 materials 嘅 velocity will be a constant. So if you increase frequency, the wavelength decrease. However, for this case or for the case of a guitar, so different strings is actually different materials. Okay. And if you when you increase the tension, actually it becomes another materials, okay? Or at least the behavior is changed. 咁所以咧呢兩個 case 咧係冇矛盾嘅。下面嗰個講咧就係、如果你乜都唔做嘅時候咧，個 velocity 係會無啦啦改變嘅。上面嗰個係講咧，如果你吉他個 velocity increase 咧，個 wavelength 係唔會 increase 嘅，因為咧呢條弦嘅長度係一樣嘅。咁所以 increase 嘅係 increase 嘅 frequency。So whenever you increase the weight on the strings of guitar, the frequencies increase as well. So these equations, 我基本上有個 past paper 我都做過，咁我淨係見過呢條式出現，我就見過一次，條式出現就見過一次。 但係個 concept 出現咧就見過好多次啦。譬如佢問你幾時會高啲 frequency，可能佢就會問你即係 increase tension 咁咯。但係真正計咧，我每一次都冇計過啦，真正計啊真係。咁所以咧大家睇下就算。好啦，咁咧因為呢個 lambda 咧有時會等於 2L， 咁所以咧呢條式咧就可以變咗做。Okay? So you can substitute the V into this equations and replace the lambdas with 2L, and you will get this one. 將個 V 塞翻入去，跟住咧將個 lambda 變翻做 2L， 咁就會得到呢條式。Okay, so now we will derive the last set of equations for this topic. Okay, so which is the equations for closed ends and open ends. So which means the closed tube. So if the instruments have one closed end and one open end, then what will happen to that kind of instrument? Close end 啊嘛，係咪？或者咧兩個都係 open end， 或者兩邊都係 open， 或者兩邊都係 close 嘅。咁咧而家我哋要講嗰個咧，就係一個係 open， 另一個係 close， 即係咁嘅。簡單啲講就係一個水杯或者你嘅水樽，你敲佢嘅時候咧，佢嘅 frequency。So what is the first possible vibrations patterns inside this tube? 第一個 possible 嘅 vibration patterns 喺邊度？咁咧呢個 ends 咧係一個 close end 啊嘛，所以咧佢嘅 displacement 就係零個 particles 嘅 displacement。咁咧喺呢度咧就會最高，個 displacement 係最大啊，或者最高或者最低。咁所以第一個就係咁啦。Okay, so if the length of this tube is L, so what's the relations between the lambda and L? What's the relations between the lambda and L? 呢度有幾多個 wave 喺度啊？清楚，呢度有幾多 wave 喺度？係啊，呢度1/4啊嘛，係咪 ？So 1/4 lambda equals to L. So lambda equals to 4L. So V equals to F lambda. Okay, so which is the fundamental frequency? So F0 equals to V over 4L. So this is the first harmonic frequency, or we call the fundamental frequency of this tube. So the second possible vibrations patterns. The second possible vibrations patterns. 你自己畫下呢個 second possible vibration patterns. Okay, so give you a 30-second break. 你衰，你錯咗你，我從來
係照
冇
呢流堂咯，唔講我哋知嘅咯。好慘啊！你哋。
recess 開放之後，俾大家瞓覺。繼續嗰個 Ivana、Area、Harry、Mandy、Jenny， 起來啦，起來啦！啊？我洗啊，呢度有水。真係，真係啊！
我要除洗。
哦，真係喺呢度。
冇所謂啦。你洗完之後攞佢件衫啊，佢洗完之後攞你件衫啊。OK。Okay, so now draw a second possible vibrating pattern on your own. 第二個有可能發生嘅 vibrating pattern 係咩啊？係啊，咁咧就好似雙魚座嗰個符號咁啊。好，咁而家呢個有幾多 wave 啊？因為咧就係冇咗2嘅，陣間你就知點解，呢個係1咧，跟住呢個就變咗3，係咪？咁所以就呢個係冇嘅1、2嘅。好啦，跟住咧我哋就再翻去。Okay, so as you can see, the denominators will be 1, 3, 5 for this case, for this closed tube case, so that there is no second harmonic frequency. Okay, so but with third harmonic frequency. Okay, so this equations will become so F n equals to NV over 4L. So n equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So this is for the closed tube. for the open tube, Fn equals to AV over 2L N. 呢度冇 ，sorry. So 135. 135. Okay, so please change it. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open tube. 兩邊都風點吹啊？即係你擺個喇叭喺度啦，喺度。你諗下。可以，翻嚟再整俾你。你兩邊都係 close 咪即係又變翻呢個樣咯，係嘛？你兩邊都 close 咪又變翻呢個樣。我聽未見過呢條，不妨叫佢做 Natalie 條。Okay, so as you can see, the harmonic frequencies for this instrument, for these two kinds of instruments are different. So if you play the Chinese traditional instruments, so most of them are closed tube, so the harmonic frequency created will be 135. So for you to play the Western instrument, I don't know. 咁咧，譬如啲西洋樂器咧 the harmonic frequency created will be 155 and they have different frequency. That's why you have different feelings when you hear the two types of instruments. 因為咧，佢哋原本 create 嘅 harmonic frequency 就唔一樣咯，所以咧你聽出嚟咧嗰兩種樂器咧嘅感覺咧就好唔一樣。呢個咧就係點解咧中國嗰啲傳統樂器同西洋樂器嘅感覺咧相差咁？古箏應該係 close end 啦，兩個都係。即係佢特登，同埋佢會特登調到個長度，我唔知係咪有唔係好識，我驚我亂得噏出嚟。譬如佢主要嘅曲都係由5個音組成嘛，譬如宮商角徵，咁你咪聽唔到。你平時可能彈吉他、拉小提琴成日聽到嘅音，即係因為佢本身嘅樂曲咧，譬如你聽音。即係你聽嗰啲古曲，可能本身就係5個音咁嘅。唔係有得撳嘅。當然都有得撳，不過咁你個譜本身可能佢就會叫你彈，我唔知啊，我唔知。
唔係有得撳出嚟先得。
好啦，咁咧呢個樂器咧，仲有一種好著名嘅樂器嘅係乜嘢啊？尋日講咗呢個笙之後，仲有咩啊？就係呢個鐵尺啦。咁咧你彈間尺嘅時候咧。其實就係一邊係 close end， 一邊係 open end。Okay, so when you change the length, then you can change the frequency。咁咧有啲人好勁嘅，可以攞一間尺嚟彈嗰啲歌出嚟。對手機嗰個。咁咧你哋試下翻譯下。有冇聽過5月天嗰首將軍定係有人攞把鐵尺彈出嚟？OK。咁所以咧，即係彈間尺咧都係呢個 case 咯 ，one close end, one open end。好啦，咁咧我哋知道呢個 pattern 咧，仲有啲咩用咧嗱？而家咧我哋就對比一下，譬如咧嗱，一般嘅弦樂咧兩邊都係 close end 啊嘛，係咪？咁佢嘅 second possible vibrating pattern 係咪咁嘅樣啊？呢個弦樂，咁代表咗啲乜嘢咧？就係代表咗咧你彈嘅時候咧，呢條弦咧喺呢個正中間嗰度有一個 note， 係咪？譬如咧我哋用呢個吉他做例子啊。好啦，咁咧我哋呢條弦咧。正中間咧，中間呢度有一個 note 嘅 ，OK， 咁我哋兩隻手指一齊行到呢度，呢度係正中間有一個 note。咁呢度有咩特別咧？呢個位，好，即係呢個位咧，你輕輕掂住佢嘅時候咧，就可以發呢個 harmonic frequency 出嚟。因為咧，你咁啱掂住個 note 喺呢度中間。咁咧，你上一格同下一格都唔得嘅，因為上一格同下一格就唔係呢個 note 嘅位置咯。啊？咁你諗下，你彈嘅時候咧，條弦你唔知佢點震㗎嘛，即係佢可能係咁樣震，可能係咁樣震。咁咧，所以咧，佢喺呢個位咧會 create 一個 note 出嚟，喺條弦嘅正中間位 create 一個 note 出嚟。咁你有手指掂住佢嘅時候咧，就唔會影響，即係你手指掂住呢度嘅時候咧，唔會影響呢個成個 waves 嘅 transfer 嘅。 但係你可以同時咧，即係你可以發呢個音嘅時候咧，同時加強呢個音，所以你就會聽到啱啱比較奇怪嘅 harmonic frequency。咁咧下一個你可以彈到 harmonic frequency 嘅位置喺邊度？下一個你可以彈到 harmonic frequency 嘅位置喺邊度？係啦，咁咧就係1/4嘅位置或者1/3嘅位置咯。咁所以咧，你喺呢度咧再減一半咧，就嚟到呢度。所以嚇？唔一樣㗎。咁咧下面都有嘅。咁肯定係一樣音㗎。點解肯定係一樣音啊？呢個如果你覺得唔係一樣音，你就讀 music 就得唔好啦。譬如咧，你諗下呢個 frequency 係咪永遠都係 double 㗎？即係譬如咧，呢個 fundamental frequency 咧係 V/2L 啊嘛，係咪？咁佢220 Hz 嘅時候咧，如果佢係 C 嘅話，咁你呢個 second harmonic frequency 咧咪 2V/2L 啊？所以呢個係440啊嘛，係咪？咁440 Hz 都一樣會係 C 嘅。咁所以咧，你聽到嘅肯定係同一個音嚟嘅，嗰啲 harmonic frequency。所以咧，呢條弦，譬如呢條弦係 E 啦，咁佢去到一半嘅位置咧，呢度都係 E 嚟嘅。OK。做咗夾唔緊要啦。咁咧，你查翻咧，即係全部，即係因為你個 frequency double 咗嘅時候咧，咁佢係同一個音嚟嘅。咁所以咧，佢嘅 harmonic frequency 咧，佢永遠都係同一個音。好，我哋插咗佢。所以如果你彈間尺想 create harmonic frequency 咧，你應該擺喺呢個位，即係擺2/3嗰個位，咁你先 create 到呢個 harmonic frequency。OK。好。
因為我哋啱啱弦嘅話係 open tube。
弦喺呢度。
即係弦嘅話係 open tube 嗰條繩。
你講多次。
係用 open tube 嗰條繩定係？
呢兩條式係一樣嘅，呢兩條式就係 M equals to N V/2L。呢兩種 case 嘅時候咧，係 apply the same equation。
但係點解啱4/1嗰度唔得？
呢個係 close and one open one close。呢個係 two open，呢個係 two close 或者 two open 咯。即係呢兩種 case 咧，都係用呢條式嘅。即係譬如吉他弦或者一般嘅單簧管、雙簧管，兩邊都 open end 咧，都係用呢條式嘅。好啦，咁咧呢個咧一個 close end 咧，一個 open end 咧，就係用呢個式，都叫做 close。咁咧老實講咧，一般情況之下你唔會記得呢兩式嘅，所以一定要自己 derive 出嚟嘅。So you need to make sure that you can derive from the beginning。其實好低啲啫 ，derive 就係 so if you can draw the correct patterns。Okay, so and then they'll write down the relation between the wavelength and L, then you can find all the frequency. Okay, cool. So here are all the frequencies about the standing waves. Okay, so but all we learned is 1D standing waves. 咁咧，我哋學嘅咧，所有 standing wave 咧都係 one dimension 嘅，即係一條弦或者一個 tube。咁咧，其實咧嗰啲 standing wave 咧 can be two dimension。So we need to wait for the projector. Okay, so now I will show you the case of two dimension. 見見到我隻鼠標，幫我揾下。咩啊？喺邊啊？
你喺個電腦度睇唔係清楚啲？
睇唔到㗎，即係呢個係延伸嘅畫面。啊！先拉住我哋放幾多號？
因為你見到上面嗰個 pad。啊哈。
誒，得咗。我已經寫咗紙維修呢個電腦啦，希望佢早啲幫我維修。睇得咗啦，而家同步顯示啊。OK， so let's see。咁咧睇住呢度，咩咧？睇住呢度啦。咁咧，我哋計咧全部都係 one dimensional 嘅 vibration。So in this case, we'll show you the two-dimensional vibration. Okay, so we can use a vibrating plate and to add some things to create the two-dimensional vibrating patterns. Alright, so when you use different frequencies, then you will see different patterns. So the higher the frequency or the higher the pitch, the patterns will be more complicated. Okay? So for example, if you use 345 Hz, then you will get the pattern like this. Okay? So if you increase the frequency, then the patterns will become more and more complicated. 咁咧，你可以咧買一塊反擊導啲鹽落去嘅，跟住咧攞一條弓咧拉咧都會拉到呢個 pattern 出嚟。咁同埋你飲奶茶嘅時候咧，你震下佢咧，你都會見到奶茶表面咧係咁嘅 pattern。咁咧，我哋呢度都有個 vibrator， 不過呢個 experiment 咧好難做得嚟嘅。俾大家睇下 ，OK。咁咧，譬如5000幾 Hz 嘅時候咧，咁咧，去到最後咧就會 create 咗呢一堆咁嘅 patterns 出嚟。So now, we will do some exercise about the stationary waves. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. 呢個好低嘅 ，give you 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26. 啊！First harmonic frequency 嘅時候咧，個 wavelength 係幾多啊 ？First harmonic frequency 嘅時候，個 wavelength 係幾多啊？咁咧呢一個就係 first harmonic frequency 嘅樣啊嘛，係咪？咁咧而家條弦咧就話俾你聽咧 1.2 meter， 咁所以咧呢個 length 係 1/2 lambda equals to 1.2 meter。So lambda equals to 2.4 meter. Okay? So for the second harmonic frequency, so again it's 1.2 meter. So in this case, lambda equals to L equals to 1.2 meter. So for the last case, here is 3 over 2 lambda equals to L equals to 1.2 meter. So equals to 0.8. So that's all.咁咧呢個應該自己搞一搞掂啦。咁咧我哋就做點樣係啦。Okay, so again, I'll give you 2 minutes.如果你好快就計完咧，就順便睇下幾個結果咧會點。So first is the frequency, 10 over 33 or 33 over 10. 10 over 33 or 33 over 10. The frequency. Frequency 係咩啊？咩嘢係 frequency？frequency 係每秒做到幾多次啊嘛，係咪啊？每秒做到幾多次咁？應該係33除10定10除33啊？33除10 ，OK， 33除10，咁咧就係3.3%。因為咧佢每秒咧可以 vibrate 3.3次，所以佢嘅 frequency 咧就係 3.3%。咁咧 period 係咩咧 ？period 咧就係 1 over L 啦，咁咧就係1 over 3.3 seconds。period 就係佢幾多秒咧震完一個 cycle。好，咁咧其他後面嗰啲咧就好簡單啦。呢個 wavelength 咧就係3 meter。咁咧其實佢應該 2s 佢呢度全部嘢都 2s。不過啦，睇下先啦，應該咁樣寫咧。And then the speed 咧就 equals to and lambda. So it's 3.3 3. So which is 9.9 meters per second. So is this the sound you can hear? Is this the sound you can hear? 聽唔聽到啊？呢個 sound created 點解聽唔到啊？係啊 ，OK, so because it's lower than 20 Hz, so you can't hear this sound. 好啦，咁咧計算上咧就係極其低啲嘅啫，就係咁樣啦。所以咧我變成 skip。點解要抄俾大家？唔係講之前計完嘅。 唔係講之前就可以。好，咁咧最後一題呢題。有咩 resonance 啫？咩 resonance？resonance 咧就即係共鳴，即係你可以諗咧，佢而家呢個 tube 嘅 frequency 咧就係850啦，或者850個倍數，咁就會共鳴發生。咁咧佢問你 what harmonic frequency is this？ 就即係咧呢個850 Hz 咧，對於呢個 tube 嚟講咧係 F1、F3、F5 定係 F7？ 因為呢個 tube 咧有好多個 harmonic frequency 啊，即係佢同時會發出好多個音嘅。咁咧呢個850 Hz 咧。就你可以講咧，呢個850 Hz 就係同呢個 tube 發出嘅其中一個音係一樣嘅。OK， 咁呢個850 Hz 究竟係發出嘅13579係邊一個咧？嚇？零？哦，唔好講個零，即係因為嚇死你。抽咗。Okay, so this is a closed end. So one of the ends is closed. Okay, so the other is open. So it can be this one, this one. And this one. Okay, so it may be vibrating like the first harmonic frequency, or third harmonic frequency, or fifth harmonic frequency. Okay, so because for the closed tube, there is no second and fourth harmonic frequency. Do you remember the equations? The equations for the closed tube is Fn equals to,記唔記得？NV over 4L 係咪？咁咧，所以咧就係咁啦。咁咧，你而家知道咧，佢個 harmonic frequency 會俾咗你啦，就係850 Hz。咁對於呢個 tubes 嚟講咧，係佢嘅第幾個 frequency 咧？咁你就代公式咗啦。咁咧就4 times 0.5。咁咧，上面咧就係340，呢個850，所以咧呢個 n 咧就係5。呢個咧就係佢第5個 harmonic frequency。咁或者倒翻轉嚟講咧，對於呢個 tubes 嚟講咧，佢個 fundamental frequency 咧就170 Hz。咁呢個題目咧就係台灣叫踎田，咁呢度譯咗做英文。好聽嗎？
这个红色的，这个。哇，咁靚！
好啦，next time，得未啊？好啦，呢個有10秒時間。10、9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1. Maybe which one is correct? 係啦，就係 C 啦，因為咧唔喐嗰啲全部都係 north。anti north 喺邊度啊？最高嗰度 ，OK。anti north 喺呢度，咁所以咧就係 C 啦，就是那麼多 V。好，跟住就到呢度。Okay, so I'll give you 30 seconds to read the questions. Không biết你有冇試過攞微波爐朱古力㗎？即係如果你情人節咧攞微波爐朱古力咧，你會發現咧有啲溶咗，有啲未溶嘅。點解咧？點解有啲溶咗，有啲未溶？微波爐係點樣煮嘢食㗎？用心嚟煮，咁浪漫嘅。或者 absorb 嘅 radiation 係咪 ？absorb 嘅 microwave。好啦，咁點解有啲地方熱，有啲地方唔熱啊？咁咧，其實佢後面嘅圖咧，好似後面有。好啦，你睇完呢個圖咧有冇啲？Okay, explain the following meanings of coherence and standing wave 咁咧會咗佢啦，唔該你。Okay, so on the diagram above, mark a possible positions of an antenna and label it A。好啦，咁其實佢提咗你啊，呢個圖咧有 not 同 anti-not 嘅點解啊？點解有 not 同 anti-not 啊？因為呢個 microwave 其實都係 wave 嚟㗎嘛，係咪？佢喺呢個微波爐入邊 reflect 嘅時候咧，令到有啲地方咧 constructive interference， 有啲地方係 destructive interference 啊。咁所以有啲就好熱，有啲就熱。呢個咧就係話俾你聽點解啲微波爐要轉啊？如果啲微波爐唔轉咧，你焗雞咁樣咧，有一個地方咧永遠都唔熱嘅。So due to the positions of the anti-knot and knot. So which one is anti-knot in this case? 係啦，咁最熱嗰個地方就係 anti-knot 啦，因為 vibrate 得最勁。Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5 on your own. wavelength 點揾啊？咁快細唔識揾㗎嘛？小波羅而家就識揾啦。講乜 Q 啊？呢個都要講。乜衰啊！搞到我錄低咗呢個乜 Q 啊？呢個我唔識計，打你啦，花有錢啦。What is the velocity of the microwave? 3 times 10 to the 8. 有冇唔識計啊？真係冇呢個方法。The diagram shows the two different paths 應該喺呢度喎。第4同5係合埋一齊嘅。Find the top difference for weight reading phonics by the top strong。咁咧 X 喺呢度啊。細個又玩咩啊？好唔尋常咧，真係咁細個就要瞓覺，係邊係唔尋常喎？啲咩訓導嚟啊？10咁又17歲要瞓覺。呢個係 X 啦，係啊。呢個 path difference 係幾多啊？嚇？呢個 path difference 係幾多啊？嚇 ？path difference 係幾多啊 ？path difference 係幾多啊？嚇？咁咪攞呢個20加10減呢個22.1加14啊，咁係幾多啊？6.1 cm， 咁咧所以嚟到呢個 point 咧 constructive interference 同 destructive interference。So at phonics instead of destructive interference or constructive interference。咁咧第4個咧係成出嚟，好靚啊！黐線嘅，神啊！我一人講嘅呢一包。So is this destructive interference or constructive？ 點知佢 destructive？ 係啊，因為咧呢個6.1咧就大概咧就等於 half wavelength， 係咪？咁咧 for the path difference which is 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, they are destructive interference。OK？ 咁咧所以咧嚟到呢個 point 咧就係 destructive interference。咁 destructive interference 咧啲嘢會唔會熟啊？唔會熟。喂，講起 destructive interference 先，我戴住個耳機唔記得攞佢。好啦，咁咧呢一個咧就係whether you would expect this sponge to be microwave knots or anti-knots， 咁咧就係一個 anti-knots 啦。就係一個 knots， 因為咧佢係 half wavelength 嘅。好，咁咧你而家再睇下最下面啊。攞電腦片。一個 sound wave 咧 ，which is in opposite displacement with the surroundings。咁咧，所以就係所謂嘅降噪耳機啊。咁咧，你一戴完咧就聽唔到老師講書。真係講兩句嘢都唔好聽到。So you can pass around。咁咧呢啲就係所謂嘅咩叫降噪耳機咧，就係阿怡排隊買嘢食，好乖啊阿怡，啲老師都直接買㗎啦，阿怡排隊。張阿怡，好乖啊！算啦，聽日先講啊。So some microwave orders use two separate microwave frequencies to overcome the problem of uneven spin。 點解咧？因為你用兩個 frequency 嘅時候咧，佢係咪唔 coherent 啊？咁咧，所以佢永遠都唔會 cancel 到 to zeros 咯。或者佢嗰個 not 同 anti-not 嘅位置咧，唔係一個fixed point 嚟嘅，咁所以咧就點都會 hold 得熟嘅。OK。好，咁咧聽日再講啦。
幫佢停咗佢。